Hello, the wonderful football fans out there. It's a very great weekend. Another one. This one with a with a banger on its own. This is none other but the full expectation, the enthusiasm from every football fan out there, the nervous, the anxiety nature. In fact, everybody is just glowing and counting down till that moment which we're waiting for today. It's a new month. Happy new month to you all out there, football fans, from the phenomenal Cliffy and from BAM TV. We are giving you every update that we have regarding football news worldwide from the last time I was in the seat till this moment. We're just going to give you every bit of it. There's been drama, there's been a whole lot of ups and downs, and yes, there have been people who actually expected more but didn't get more, and there's been disappointment, and then other people who were just miraculously happy out of the blue. Well, like I said, football, anything can happen. Nobody actually can predict this is it, but yes, you just have to once in a while go with your own, like your instinct just have to guide you right, and then you just feel like, okay, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. But like I said, anything can happen. A rat can defeat a cat in the game of football. And yeah, live here today, we are going to give you updates because we have had a lot of finals from the last time, starting with the match between Manchester City. That's the FA Cup final between Manchester City against Manchester United. Wow, everybody before that game, yeah, precisely, I would say even the Chelsea fans, in fact, everybody was just expecting that Man City were going to crush Man U because of their own bad run. That's Manchester United's wrong, like their form, which has not really been in a very good state towards the end of the season. And Manchester City, who won the Premier League championship for the fourth time in 5 seasons in a row, which everybody didn't actually see it coming, but they actually expected Man City to dominate the game. But no, it was a shocker. Like, the shock was very, very immense, intense, and spontaneous. Manchester City didn't see this one coming. Nah, Guardiola, you did not see this one coming. Those quick goals from those young, talented United players who are promising stars, talking about no other person than Alejandro Garnacho, and then Kobe Mainoo. In the first half, those 2 goals were enough for Manchester United to hold on and then go on to claim the FA Cup title, or claim the FA Cup trophy for the year 2024, which makes it the 13th time in the history of the club that they have won that particular trophy. The only club who has won more than Manchester United is none other than Arsenal Football Club, and they have 14 trophies. Like, they have 14 FA Cups, which makes them the record holders. But Manchester City, yeah, well, despite the fact that Jeremy Doku scored a goal towards the end of the match, it was not enough to savour them. In this case, Manchester City had already had the loss from the first half because the harm had already been done. Despite the fact that they didn't see this one coming, I guess it was just more like the confidence, like I said in the match, or after the match between Bayern Leverkusen and Atlanta. Same thing happened. You didn't see this one coming. The confidence was just too much in the camp, and they didn't just play like, yes, they had something to lose. But Manchester United, of course, they were playing not just to win the trophy, they had a whole lot of things to lose. Like I said, if they won that trophy, which they have already won now, automatically they are going to Europe. And then yes, Chelsea are going to Europe too, but in this case, and a tier that is below the Europa League. So Chelsea, automatically, the fans were very, very heartbroken that day. Most of them even went as far as saying Manchester City, Pep Guardiola had sold the match, that the match was fixed. And yes, everybody was angry and furious, but it is not fixed. This is football. Personally, I just enjoy the fact that drama happens in this game. I'm not a Manchester United fan. I love football, and I love the fact that yes, it is always giving you what you don't expect, when you don't expect, and how you don't expect it. Like, yeah, Chelsea fans, you guys just have to bear with it, because you're going to be playing in the Europa Conference League for the first time in your history. Lucky you, at least you still ended up qualifying. Newcastle are not going to Europe automatically, and as it stands now, it's just a whole party in the United camp. Although, despite the fact that they won the FA Cup, there's still a whole lot of speculations in that team as regarding whether Erik ten Hag is going to remain the manager of Manchester United come next season, or he's going to be sacked. But fingers crossed, this is football. Let's just see what happens after the parade, after the trophy parade in England. But it's not going to happen until the grand finale of the football season has been played. I'll keep that gist for later. But for now, let's go to the next one. Bayern Leverkusen winning the DFB pokal. It was a narrow win. Granit Xhaka, the former Arsenal man, was able to get a goal, and it was more than enough for them to claim the trophy. Manchester, like Bayern Leverkusen, has won 2 trophies. It's a double. They won 2 trophies for the first time in their club history, which is a very good one for them. And yeah, we're very happy for our very own Nigerian talents, none other than Victor Boniface and then Teller himself, which of course they are in the squad which will be representing Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers in a few days time. Well, we also have the UEFA Conference League finals between Olympiakos and Fiorentina, which also ended 1-0. Olympiakos had the day, and then Fiorentina had to just bear the loss. But this is football. Like we said, the optimism from every fan. Everybody didn't see this one coming, although everybody was expecting. They will definitely root for the person they feel this is this is who I want to win this particular football league. But the best team, the better players, and then the most determined always have it at the back of after everything. That's just what I mean to say. I beg your pardon. And then the dramatic match which was played between Al Hilal against Al Nasser. That's none other than the Saudi Kings Cup, which was played yesterday. It was a very dramatic match. We had 3 red cards in the football game. 3 red cards. And the game that ended 1-1 during full time. But at the end, Ronaldo was not able to save his team. Despite him scoring his own spot kick, they lost the finals in a penalty shootout. 5-3. 5-4, I beg your pardon, because even though the 4th person scored after the 5th person had scored, I'm talking about none other than the Al Hilal players. After scoring the 5th penalty kick during the shootout, there was no need for Al Nasser to continue because they had already missed. And well, this is dramatic. Football is just something. And at the end of the day, Ronaldo was crying. But well, he's a very wonderful player. He's a very talented player. He's a very determined, and he loves winning. It wasn't a surprise that he was seen like he broke down in tears yesterday and was crying on the football pitch after the final whistle. But that is just another part of it. The whole thing that happened here was just the fact that yes, every like most of the players that had incidents in that match, most of them talking about David Ospina, former Arsenal man, Koulibaly from Chelsea, former Chelsea, Alexander Mitrovic from Fulham, and then Cristiano Ronaldo in that football. Like, it was just like the Premier League footballers, they just left England and went to Saudi Arabia to create that drama. That's the intense, like that tension they always face in England. They took it to Saudi, and then yes, it is really, really paying off. Which I believe this is what the Saudi Pro League wanted all along, by going out there and then bringing in players, top players, to come into the league and then make the league interesting. And yes, we're seeing that. Even Ruben Neves was in the match, and then despite he missing his own penalty kick. But yeah, the whole drama was just so much. But well, this is football. We just enjoy it when it happens like that. Just at the end of the day, there must be a winner. That's just how it ends, except it is in the league or a friendly kind of version. But in this case, in the final, a winner must emerge. And yesterday, Al Hilal won the Kings Cup title for the year 2024. Then we go to the transfer speculations of football for like footballers. Well, in the transfer world, a lot of things are happening. For now, we have not really seen any moves being made. That's because the transfer window is not going to be open until, let's say, at least in 2 weeks time, when the windows will be open. And then yes, every football club can go out there and get those players that they feel can make them better and perform much better, so they can develop from what they couldn't achieve last season to a better position by the end of next season. Well, for now, the only transfer that seems to be very catchy in the eyes is none other but that of Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig, who has said boldly, he has told his club that I want to go. He has accepted a move to Arsenal Football Club, which Arsenal, on the other hand, are very, very interesting to make a deal, and it is said, as it is now, he's rumored to be worth nothing less than 45 million pounds. That's a lot of money for a very young player. He's just 21, and he has the facility, like he's just what they describe as a modern day striker. Most people see him as somebody who can do better than Erling Haaland at the moment, because if you should ask them, they'll say aside the ball control, the guy doesn't just score goals, but he also knows how to walk with the ball on his feet. When he has the ball in his feet, he knows how to dribble his way around, which is a strength he possesses against Haaland. Haaland is a very prolific goal scorer, but he does more of the scoring. Haaland won't be able to dribble past 1-2 players, but we have seen Sesko at his very young age. He has been playing for a very long, from Salzburg, now he's Leipzig, and he's doing the same thing. He's very skilled, he's talented, he has pace, and he has the strength to hold on to play, and which is what Arsenal, as far as Arteta is concerned, was what he lacked. That was what he lacked last season, because he didn't have an attacker who could actually score or just bring in that final touch, which affected them, I think, towards the end of around December, before the winter break, and also against Bayern Munich in the Champions League, and towards the tail end of the season against Aston Villa. Well, let's hope Benjamin does it, and yeah, the deal can be concluded, but fingers crossed. Let's see what happens when the transfer window officially opens. Victor Osimhen is also rumored to be interested in a move to Arsenal. Well, Arsenal, I don't know what's happening. Is it that every young player out there is just really interested in new people? Other players are there also, but we're just keeping our fingers crossed. Let's see what happens from now till when the transfer window open. For now, it's just rumors. No move has been official yet. Unlike that of the managers, we've seen clubs swapping managers every here and then, and the most catchy one and the most recent one that happened was that of Jose Mourinho, who signed a 2-year contract with Fenerbahce, the Turkish giants, yesterday. No one saw this one coming, but Mourinho, after staying on the sidelines or staying off the pitch for over a month, for roughly 6 months now, because he lost the job against, or he was sacked by AS Roma in January, and right now he just landed a new job, a major role at Fenerbahce. Yesterday was when the contract was signed, but within the week we saw Vincent Kompany being confirmed by none other than Bayern Munich. Leverkusen actually dominated, and Bayern Munich had no other option but to see what they could do to make themselves better. And as it is now, they have parted ways with Thomas Tuchel, and right now they have appointed Vincent Kompany to become the manager who is going to lead them into the next era. And Kompany, on the other hand, has said he's going to do his best to make sure that he returns the club back to its glory, the place where they used to know Bayern Munich to be. Like, this is the kind of club, that threat that they were in Europe. They are trying to return them, but he's going to do his best to return them back, because despite everything they did this season, they still came short. So Kompany, I wish you all the best. And then we have Enzo Maresca moving from Leicester City to Chelsea Football Club. I don't know what is happening, because it's like most of these coaches who are moving right now are all prodigies of Pep Guardiola himself. It's like Guardiola himself is just dominating Europe or with the faces of other persons. We have seen Mikel Arteta, we have seen Vincent Kompany. This is Maresca, who also worked with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, and right now he has a club to coach. That's Chelsea Football Club. It wasn't just enough that Maresca proved himself to be a worthy manager at Leicester City. That's leading them back to the Premier League from the relegation, from the Champions League. They won the trophy and they won the championship, and then automatically qualified for the Premier League. But I don't know, at the time everybody will definitely see a better opportunity. Probably he feels the stars are going to be closer for him to catch in Chelsea Football Club after they parted way with Mauricio Pochettino a few weeks back, and right now he is going to be the head coach who is going to lead Chelsea come next season. But it's a very interesting one too. And then we've seen Arne Slot taking over Liverpool after Jurgen Klopp departed. And then yes, there's a whole different thing entirely, because it's like the Premier League this year is going to be dominated with bald coaches. Guardiola, Maresca, Arne Slot, and then yes, Shandach. Ten Hag is there also. These are all coaches who don't really have strands of hair on their head, and then it's saying it's going to be the battle of the bald. The best bald man is going to have the tournament at the end of the year. That's just for cruises, like that's just for cruise purpose though. And then, well, for now we're going to be talking about nothing but the Euro, like the Euro squad which was released. A lot of countries have released their squad, the Euro and then the Copa America. But we've seen top players from other clubs, probably because of the way their clubs didn't really do well during the season. We've seen Rashford miss out of the England squad for the Euro 2024. He's not included. And then we've seen Antonio, Casemiro, and a whole lot of them. Top players who were actually expected to be in this team. Gabriel Jesus of Arsenal also didn't make the cut. Same thing with Richarlison of Tottenham. These are players who actually, individually, they are very good players, but they just missed a chance to go to one of the big tournaments in their continent. And it has sparked speculations, because a lot of persons are saying this player didn't really do well. Probably, but these are players on a very good day that are very, very good. On a very good day, Rashford could just come out with something you don't expect. Antonio can be a game changer. Richarlison can also be a game changer. Same thing with Gabriel Jesus. These are players who have proven themselves over the years, but come this tournament, maybe their bad form has actually made them to miss the chance to go to their continent's top competitions. And then those people who we didn't expect were the first to be on the bus leading to the tournament. Well, I wish them all the best. Talking about Kobe Mainoo, Eberechi Eze of Crystal Palace making the English squad, and it is not surprising at all, because these are young players who are determined, who have actually done what it takes to be where they are at this moment. And then yes, Gabriel Magalhaes of Arsenal, who was seen as the last choice defender, who was called the last choice defender by none other than Richarlison a few weeks back. That was after the match between Tottenham and Arsenal Football Club at White Hart Lane. That's the North London derby. After the match, Richarlison went online to post. He was just being a little bit teasy, and then, should I say, that was just a bit arrogant of him, calling Gabriel Magalhaes the last choice defender of Brazil, and then him being the first choice attacker of Brazil. But at the end of the day, tables turned, and then he didn't make up the list, and Gabriel was on the first flight to Brazil camp. And that's what we see. You just have to remain humble, despite the fact that you have an opportunity and then someone doesn't. This is football. Anything can happen. The more, if you really want to be at that top tier, you need to be consistent. Consistency is what keeps you at the top, keeps you at the top of your game, makes you contend with the big boys. It gives you an opportunity to always be out there. And most importantly, if you are not that consistent, what matters is your character off the pitch. You don't just have to go out and then, because you have an advantage over another person, then you just make it look like the person is not worth it. Well, I hope players are going to learn, because most of them have actually have had it coming. Well, there are speculations that Paqueta of West Ham, a Brazil midfielder also, there are speculations that he might be suspended or he might be banned from football because of betting allegations. We're just still waiting for that to find out. We also know exactly what is really going to happen. We have seen it happen to the likes of Ivan Toney and a lot of other players, top players out there who were guilty of betting. But for now, let's just keep the players' lifestyle away from this. We're going to talk about the most important expectations. For now, the Euro and the Copa America are still way ahead compared to the World Cup qualifiers, with Nigeria is going to be playing on the 7th against South Africa in our home soil here. And then on the 10th, Nigeria will be playing against Benin Republic. Don't forget, Benin Republic, their head coach is the former Super Eagles coach, none other than Kenneth Rowe, the person who actually took Nigeria a few months back to the final of the CAF African Cup of Nations. He is actually the one who is the head coach of Benin Republic now, and he has vowed to do everything to frustrate Nigerians, to frustrate the Nigerian Super Eagles from qualifying for the World Cup. He's going to do his own bit and then make sure he frustrates them. He makes sure, like, okay, I guess he's probably doing he's saying all of this because he's a bit familiar with the whole club. Like, he knows like 75% of the players, and then he has a whole lot of experience regarding who is going to be coming in, and he knows their strengths and then their weakness. But don't forget, Nigeria, on the other hand, we have a very proven tactician in the person of George Finidi, who is the head coach, and he has actually made a few changes. We have seen changes like Uzoho Francis not been called up for this qualifier match, and he has been replaced by Madueke Okoye, the same goalkeeper that was in the goalpost between the sticks against Tunisia, the last Cup of Nations, when Nigeria lost and then they went out in the round of 16, which a lot of persons went online and were like, he deliberately lost that ball, he's not a good player. He just went online and he was like, he was on a football pitch and he was doing his my boy things and stuff like that. But while he's a good keeper, despite the fact that he had the setbacks and then everything didn't really go well for him in that tournament, he still kept up his game with Udinese in Italy, and he has actually earned a call up. And right now it is Nwabali, Stanley, Madueke Okoye, and Ojo. They are the three goalkeepers who has been called by Finidi George. Well, surprising, we have not seen Osimhen on the list. That's because he's injured and he's still rehabilitating. And well, I would use this opportunity to congratulate most Nigerian players, because yes, you're making us proud out there. Talking about the likes of Onyedika, Victor Boniface, Ademola Lookman, Peter Olayinka, Iheanacho, Trus Ekong, Ndidi, and the rest of them. Let me just call a few of them. These are players who have won trophies all over their leagues, like across the leagues which they play. They won trophies this season, and it's just to tell you that yes, the boys are eager and they are capable, and at the end of the day, we'll see them doing us proud, and then Nigeria will be representing, or Nigerians will be proudly represented come 2026 at the FIFA World Cup. Fingers crossed, and let's hope everything goes the way we want. And finally, and most importantly, the match we have all been waiting for. That's the season finale in Europe. None other but the Champions League. I feel like singing the anthem now. Just like, I don't know if my voice is going to take me here, but it's just like the anthem itself is just something else. It's thrilling, and this will be in London. When I mean London, we're talking about Wembley Stadium. That is where the finals of the Champions League season 2003/24 will be played, and it is going to be between Borussia Dortmund against Real Madrid. This is a very interesting match to watch, because it has been so interesting. Like, everybody is actually struggling to get a space. We can see Real Madrid fans it was a very funny sight at the airport, because Real Madrid fans were seen boarding a plane that was branded with Barcelona jerseys, like Barcelona players all over the plane, but they didn't mind. They wanted to be in England to witness this particular final. It was a sight to behold, because the videos are all over the internet, the pictures are there, and a lot of people were like, what's happening? Maybe the rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid in Spain, that's the La Liga, which has been very, very intense over the years, and we have seen Madrid dominate for a particular season or for some seasons, and then Barcelona coming back to dominate as well. But the differences were set aside by the fans. This is about all road to England, everything to get, like, we do everything just to make sure that we are in England, London precisely, to watch this match. And Real Madrid fans, despite the fact that they were putting on Madrid jerseys, were seen boarding a plane that was branded with Barcelona players, and then the flag, like just their club flag, their logos, and then their players all over the plane. It's a very ironical state, though, but we'll just see. That's what we do for the love of the game. This is how football can, this is how crazy football can make you be. You don't mind, provided you're doing it for your team. Just imagine putting on a jersey, or let's say, for instance, now putting on an Arsenal jersey, and then you're walking into a Tottenham stadium just because you want to watch a football match, which the rivalry is fierce. Or you're seeing let's say you're seeing Manchester United, a Manchester United fan putting on the Manchester United jersey, and then he's walking on the street of Manchester City, which we see regularly. But in this case, this is not just within a particular country, it is across, like, we're going over. Just, we live in Spain to England, So we don't mind using a vehicle or an airline that has to do with our own rivals in the league. We don't mind using it, provided it takes us to the venue where we're going to watch our own football club play against a German side. Well, everything for the love of sport, and that's how amazing and interesting this game of football can be. Everything is possible, and in this case they have proven to us that yes, they really love the game, they respect the game, and for the game they can keep whatever differences they have aside just to make sure that everything goes according to plan. But not to forget, Borussia Dortmund on the other hand, they are not just here to play, they also have intent to win this league. We have the likes of Matt Hummels, Marco Reus, and we have Sahin there, and most of them, Sule and the rest of them, who actually wants to prove themselves just to make sure that they win a league, or they win this Champions League over Real Madrid, who have won it for a record of 14 times in the club history. No other club has it up to 10, but Madrid has it as much as 14. And if they should win this, which their players have vowed, talking about the club captain at this moment, or one of the leaders in the team, Valverde, saying he wants to win it for the 15th time to actually commemorate his own jersey number. He wears the jersey number 15, and he says he wants to wear the jersey number 15 and win the Champions League with Real Madrid for the 15th time. Yes, they can be so determined, and then a lot of things. Toni Kroos is going to that final match, which will also be his final game for Real Madrid as well. So it is everybody has a lot of things to prove. Like, they have a lot of things. So they are going there to play, not just to win the trophy, but they have their own intentions to go and play there. Luka Modric, who was expected to leave the club at the end of the season, is not going nowhere. Like, he's going nowhere because it is rumored to say that he has agreed a contract extension with Real Madrid, yet to be announced officially. But let's look to the Borussia Dortmund players. They are also very, very positive. They're like, the positivity in the camp is also very much. We've seen teams like Manchester United, Atlanta shock the likes of Man City and Bayer Leverkusen, who were in top forms during the season and who won their league they won their domestic league. But in this case, Borussia Dortmund have a point to prove here. Let's see if they can defy the odds and then win this football match against Real Madrid, the giants of Europe. And it is going to be very interesting to see Marco Reus leave the Champions League, and then you see Matt Hummels also leave the Champions League, or you see Emre Can and the rest of them leave the Champions League. It's going to be a very wonderful sight to watch. But this is it. We just can't sit down here. We can sit down here, everybody predict what they want. Yeah, wishes end horses or wishes end fishes, because everybody will ride on, or they will either cast net. So you have to go out there. Like I said initially, the best team will always have it at the end of the day. Well, I wish them all the best, and I hope that they get what they want. Well, who the cap fits, let the person wear it at the end of the day. So for this week, this is a wrap up from the Football Deck Street Footy. I still remain the phenomenal Cliffy, and hopefully we'll give you clips from the Champions League final. That's where we'll be watching it, down to the street, going back to do those little coverages and then capture the live drama from football fans. We're going to give you those feeds hopefully during the game. For now, I'm saying bye and I'm bowing out. Until the next time.